Hey, it's Soul, and welcome to Season 1 of Dragonflight. I'm here to guide you through what's going down this week, so hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and let's start off with some recent hotfixes in case you missed them. The quest log has been increased from 25 to 35 active quests that can be picked up at once, and it's still probably not enough. Rep bonuses have been added to the throwing back of fish for the Iskar and Tuskar. From the looks of it, they're one-time rewards followed by a whopping 5 rep per turn-in. The information here has been checked against the beta until recently, so keep in mind that there could be some differences between this video and what's going live. Season 1 of Dragonflight brings something a bit new on top of what's familiar, and that's Primal invasions. Every few hours, parts of the Dragon Isles map will light up indicating an invasion. Specifically, it'll be areas full of elite mobs that'll be modified by one of 4 elements. Your job, should you choose to take it, is very simple: to farm mobs for currency until you're satisfied. They drop Elemental Overflow, and you can farm it all you like while the events are active. Overflow is spent on a vendor that sells a unique color variant of gear with an item level of 359, as well as cosmetics. From testing, you're able to obtain a quest drop per invasion type once per week that awards a Storm Sigil. You can trade this in to upgrade existing 359 gear to a 385 piece. That means you can collect 4 of these Storm Sigils per week, which makes Storm Invasions for 3 types of players. There's the type who just wants to collect the appearances, there's the type who will buy and upgrade this gear when they're out of other options, and then there's the type who sees this as Endgame, because they never step into any group content whatsoever. Whatever the case though, have fun. The Vault of the Incarnate raid opens this week. There may or may not be a brief questline that introduces the raid to players, although it won't surprise me if it's not required to complete it in order to enter the raid. The normal, heroic, and mythic versions of the raid open this week, with Raid Finder starting next week, with Later Wings opening up every other week. Technically, the race to World First begins this week. The WoW team has enabled drops for specific Twitch channels hosting the race, so you want to tune in for 2 hours worth of watch time to obtain a toy. World bosses open up this week as well. There are 4 in all, and 1 will appear at a time. They drop item level 389 gear, and across all 4 world bosses, there's only 1 piece per class that can be used to turn into a tier set piece. Thanks a lot, WoW team. Mythic Plus dungeons open this week as well, and we should expect our keys to start at 2s after completing our first Mythic 0. This week's expected affixes are Fortified, Raging, and Quaking. Thundering is the seasonal affix, which afflicts players with a debuff that, well, it actually buffs characters' throughput for 15 seconds, but if they don't stack on top of someone with an opposing color before the debuff falls off, they're stunned and they take a lot of damage. If you didn't like Neltharis, Brackenhide Hollow, Halls of Infusion, or Uldaman, great. Those dungeons won't be part of Season 1's Mythic Plus rotation. In their place, we'll get Halls of Valor, Court of Stars, Shadowmoon Burial Grounds, and Temple of the Jade Serpent, along with the other Dragonflight dungeons. Season 1 of PvP will begin as well, and with it, the first season of Rated Solo Shuffle. Keep in mind that with the PvP season, there are basically 4 tiers of item level: 398, which is crafted PvP gear, 408 to 411, which are like the aspirant gear, and then 421 to 424, which is gladiator gear. The last tier is if you're not wearing PvP gear, which you really should. Arathi Blizzard is also this week's brawl for a bit of extra conquest. I advise not guarding flags though. If you don't have PvP gear, you'll mostly embarrass yourself. It's expected that the second Spark of Ingenuity quest will be made available. The quest to obtain it should be over at the Bronze Enclave in Valdrakken. These sparks are required to make epic level crafted gear, and we should expect a quest to appear every 2 weeks. Between the expansion opening up for Endgame and the availability of another spark, we can expect a bit of a market disruption. We've been spending the first 2 weeks of this expansion developing our professions and preparing for the season, but with the season beginning, we'll start to see these resources be consumed and replenished at unpredictable rates. Should be fun. So what is the Season 1 checklist going to look like? Here goes. Start in Valdrakken. Pick up all the quests from the weekly to the Spark quest if they're there. Knock out the easiest and biggest reputation targets to knock out the weekly. That's going to mean a visit to Rathian and Sibelian's place, completing expedition bounties, making some soup, and completing a hunt. Target your desired reputations. By now, you have an idea of how much reputation you typically farm in the course of a day, a few days, or a week. This week, the World Quest event is active, making said activities especially effective for rep gains. Use the map icon to help target world quest objectives that focus on said rep. Or do them all, whatever you want. Take care of the world boss as well, and after all that, you should be more than able to complete the weekly. Then off to Torghast for your Soul Ash farm. Got him. With these big milestones out of the way, the world is your oyster really. Just dive into whatever it is that you do. Maybe you'll be stuck in the fishing hole, maybe you'll be chasing hunt after hunt, clearing out the obsidian citadel, or just digging all over the planet. As a crafter, remember to use your weekly treatise for an extra skill point. And that should be about it. If there are any extra tips to offer, feel free to share them in a comment. We're all here to help each other out. Don't forget to catch me on stream for a chat or to say hello. I always appreciate that. Like the video, subscribe for more content, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.